You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Backlash. Total BS. Just recently, I explained to you that you could book a $100,000 word salad as a consequence of having Harry's wife as a speaker. Well, that was one site where you could, if you were presumably demented with money to burn, you could sign her up. But there's another one that has appeared, and this is even more ridiculous in terms of the complete bullshit that's being spewed for the purposes of, first of all, trying to get Harry's wife to seem like someone that would be worth booking, and then the cost involved. This comes from something called Celebrity Talent International. Well, I suppose she is a celebrity, so we'll give her that. Talent? No. There's more talent in my little finger than there is in the whole of Harry's wife. International? Well, she's known internationally. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Mr. Meatloaf once sang. But what's the blurb? What's the blurb that has been generated on Celebrity Talent International to try and get individuals to part with their ill-gotten gains or hard-earned shekels? Well, it states as follows. Harry's wife is a highly celebrated, by whom? Herself? Fashion model. Yes, that's what it leads with. A highly celebrated fashion model. Now, let's not forget that the individual that gave us Tent by Army Surplus, Teacup by Royal Doulton, Kermit Goes to Church, Fridge by Valentino, One of Our Jowers is Missing, Poo Emoji Hat, AstroTurf, Car Shag by Skoda, Chairman Mao Visits New York, The Bouncing Barrier of Harlem, Overripe Burst Tomato Lady, and Inspector Gadget Gets Booed can never, ever truly be described as a fashion model, save, of course, by somebody deluded. And it's quite clear that to open with a description of such terms could only have come from the Duchess of Delusion herself. But it continues. She's a spokesmodel. She's a fashion model and a spokesmodel. What the fuck is a spokesmodel? Is that just a good-looking person that speaks on behalf of other individuals, a bit like a spokesperson or a spokesman or a spokeswoman? A spokesmodel. Never come across that horseshit before, and it quite clearly is a load of bollocks. Next, we're told she's an actress, although that's not something she's done for a number of years, at least not professionally. And then, of course, in we get Duchess. Now, interestingly, compared to the other side, the title just has her name rather than her name followed by Duchess of Sussex. But here she is described in the opening sentence as a highly celebrated fashion model, spokesmodel, actress and duchess. Well, not only is that a heap of BS, but is that motivating you to want to book this individual? If you can, difficult as it is to put aside your dislike of her, if you were thinking about somebody coming to speak, would you think, yeah, I want a fashion model? I mean, realistically, what are they going to tell you? Unless you're inviting them to speak at an event about fashion and perhaps providing you with some insights into the way that modelling and the fashion world functions, it's not the case that most fashion models are really known for their expertise in dissecting the Ukraine-Russia conflict or able to predict where inflation might end up by the end of next year. Accordingly, heavyweight speaker? No. The blurb continues by explaining, as an actress, you may recognise her for her portrayal of Rachel Zane on the USA television series Suits. The only reason that people recognise her is because she never fucking shuts up about the fact that she was in Suits. Entertainingly, it mentions she also played Wendy on 90210, but doesn't tell us what Wendy was actually doing in the car. and FBI Special Agent Amy Jessup on Fox's Fringe. See parts passing. Now, that is the zenith of her acting career. She played Rachel Zane, gave a blowjob as Wendy on 90210, and was in Fox's Fringe for 2 episodes. There's no Oscars. There's no Emmys. There's no stint as the linchpin of a groundbreaking television series. There's no masterful portrayal of a particular character in a film. No. That's the sum total of her acting career, which then moves on to tell us Harry's wife was the model who held case number 24 on the US version of the TV game show Deal or No Deal. Yes. That's how good her resume is for this booking agency profile, telling her that she held case number 24. It's a little bit like you putting yourself forward and saying that you regularly take a dump in trap number 2 at work, where you spend your time gainfully employed putting decals on miniature cars. It's the same level. Next, she has appeared in films, including A Lot Like Love, Remember Me, Horrible Bosses, Dysfunctional Friends, Random Encounters, and Antisocial. Of course, people will be scratching their heads thinking, I saw Horrible Bosses, I don't remember her being in it, and of course, she just played the role of a FedEx girl with a couple of lines at the beginning. Harry's wife is a graduate of the prestigious Northwestern University Theatre Department. Is she really from the theatre department? With a bachelor's degree in international relations. Then, having worked at the US Embassy in Buenos Aires, that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? She was an intern for a handful of weeks. She has always been involved with the world of politics and humanitarian issues, or more accurately, she thinks that she's been involved in the world of politics and humanitarian issues because her narcissism guides her to do so. She attended a conference in Washington, D.C. with the UN Foundation discussing gender equality on a global level and continues to work closely. How? How does she work closely? By ensnaring men and leeching off them to eliminate gender discrimination. Is that how she goes about it? Well, I'm not being paid as much as other people, so what I'll do as a strong independent feminist is rely upon a man and eliminate that gender discrimination by basically poncing off a man. I suppose it's one way of doing it. As a self-proclaimed foodie, well, nobody else was going to proclaim it, Harry's wife is the founder of TIG, a hub for the discerning palate, those with a hunger for food, travel, fashion and beauty. The TIG has been featured as Best of the Web in Elle magazine and InStyle magazine and has received acclaims from a multitude of publications including Allure, Self, People magazine and Glamour. That is the glowing profile of Harry's wife on this particular booking agency. You feeling suitably underwhelmed? Do you think anybody would read that and think, fuck me, she sounds brilliant, let's get her in? The only reason that people would have her as a speaker would be this. She might as well have rewritten the booking agency profile as this. Harry's wife is married to a prince. She was in the royal family for a period of time. 72 days. That's the only reason people would book her, because she is married to the Ginger Prince and she was in the royal family. All that other shit, it's irrelevant. Are you telling me that somebody wants to book her because, hey, she's a well-known actress? She wasn't. Do you think people are going to book her because she spent a bit of time in Argentina? Of course fucking not. It's an absolute load of bullshit. Oh, let's book her because she had a lifestyle blog. Yeah, fantastic. Of course, if you went a bit further and decided that you would actually research her as a potential speaker by watching some of her instances of public appearances where she's interviewed or given speeches, you quickly conclude, fuck me, she's not even worth tuppence. She's boring, uninteresting and uninspirational. But as I meander to the end of this total load of bullshit, there's one final thing that you ought to know about. The fee range for her is between $2.5 million to $6 million. Yes, I didn't give you any warning to ensure there was no liquid or food in your mouth when I told you that. Tough titty. That is the outcome. That Harry's wife, with that shitty profile, full of bullshit, seeks $2.5 million to $6 million a pop for giving a speech. Who in their right mind would think to themselves, do you know what? I've got $3 million to burn. So who could I get in terms of a speaker? Barack Obama? Nah. What's he got to say that's of interest? He was just president of the United States. Donald Trump? Nah. He was just president of the United States. Tony Blair? He was just that oily prime minister of the United Kingdom. Why would I bother anything he's got to say about? Elon Musk? Nah, he's just a tech entrepreneur that has created various companies and trying to get people to go to Mars. What of interest might have? What interest would he have to say? No. What about Oprah Winfrey? No, not bothered about Oprah. She's only become a billionaire through her various entertainment companies. She won't have anything meaningful through experiences that she's had from a difficult start to have a life of wealth and privilege. No. Let's book somebody who gave a blowjob on Beverly Hills 90210, spent a bit of time in Argentina, and had some bit parts in movies and plays at being a bananatarian. Yeah, let's get her booked. How much is that? $3 million, you say? Absolute fucking bargain. Thank you very much. This is typical of the deluded nonsense that emanates from Harry's wife's brain as a consequence of her narcissism. You can bet your bottom dollar that that profile was written by her. That is how she sees herself, as this highly celebrated fashion model, spokesmodel, actress and duchess, with all of the bullshit that flowed from there. Absolute, total bullshit.